Just a little bit about myself. My brother and I started our own business about 7 years ago. We actually got started with digital business cards. That was our first business, and it just so happened it was 2019 when we started that. So, when 2020 hit, everybody wanted digital business cards. So that worked out pretty well for us. We were able to grow that business into 13 countries in all 50 states. Within less than 2 years. From there, we started working on multiple different fronts. We worked in the recruiting space, but it was more so always around branding and marketing. Whether it was digital business cards, whether it was the recruiting aspect, whether it's now artificial intelligence, it's always been around helping build their brand, build their marketing, right? Because I got started in the industry working at every real estate agent's favorite job, a call center, right? I was dialing 15 hours a day. 8 a.m. on the East Coast to 8 p.m. on the West Coast. And what I learned during those times is the agents who had a large brand, who had consistent marketing, dominated the agents who didn't. I do not care if you bought the best leads on the planet. If you did not have a digital footprint, a presence, email campaigns, drip campaigns, a brand around it, I can call a lead, and I don't know how many people here have dealt with this. I could read them their social security number and they'd be like, no, that's not me. I never signed up for it. Right? Like, I don't care how warm the lead was. If they didn't know who I was, they were not talking to me. And then there were some clients I would circle dial for, randomly dial. And they're like, oh, yeah, Jeff, I know. Jeff, how are you doing? I'm like, holy crap, this is a big difference, right? So that's where we kind of set out to really help agents build their, digital brand, their marketing, their online space. And now we created the world's first AI certified agent. We launched AI certified team. We are helping agents get found through AI search, which is AEO, GEO. Google is now 0-click searches on over 60% of their searches. And that number is only going to go up. What I mean by 0-click, I'm just going to kind of show you guys what I mean by that. Like, why is it 0-click? Best time to sell a home in Medina, Ohio. Zoom popped up. Let's see. This is what I mean by 0-click, right? So like right here, AI overview. How many people here even scroll past the AI overview if you happen to Google something? AI just gives you the answer, right? So whether people think they're using AI or not, they're using it in their everyday lives. So, we're just kind of navigating this shift. And I think this is just something when Jeff was asking, like, hey, what's the topic for next week? What do you want to talk about? And I believe it's just going to be, I'm going to give you guys some general overviews of what's going to be happening with AI in 2026, what to expect, what you guys are going to see. I'm also going to go over an exercise. So we're going to go over an exercise together on this call to show you guys what I believe is truly the best way to utilize AI as an individual, right? And kind of get into the overview of what's happening in 2026. And there are some interesting stats that, I've been reading up on inside of the industry. Fannie Mae and Redfin are kind of in the same boat around this, that there will be a 10% jump in the amount of homes that are sold in 2026. Just think about that. A 10% jump. 2025 was maybe a little bit rough, but, I don't believe there's good or bad markets. There's just the market. Do you guys agree with that? Like, there's no good or bad markets. It's just the market. Right? But I will also say a 10% jump as a forecast is not a bad thing to be having. So what does that mean? About 500,000 more homes sold. 500,000 more homes sold. And, another interesting part about this is they're also predicting hundreds of thousands of agents leaving the industry. Granted, right now, about 70% of agents don't even have a listing. So you might say hundreds of thousands of agents leaving. You might be saying good. There's a lot of part-time and bad agents out there, so let's get them out of the industry. But you know what that also means? Is that the amount of agents who stick with it, stay consistent, and stay in front of their people, that 10% jump, somebody's got to do this business, right? Somebody has to sell these homes. So I think it's really important that, like, coming into this year, knowing that there is going to be a jump. Will it be 10%? Maybe. Even if it's 5%, that's a lot more homes, and it's a better market, like better homes sold than last year. So it's just important to understand that, like, what I believe the difference between the agents who grow their business this year, the agents who don't. And I know I'm here to talk about AI, and I'm going to go through these things. It's not going to be about how many AI tools that you buy. That is not going to be the difference between the agents who dominate right now and the agents who don't. It will not be you spending all of your time behind a computer learning AI to do all these things. That's not going to be the big difference. The agents who stay focused, stay intentional, reach out to their database. Like, to me, it's like, do you post consistently? Do you email consistently? And do you talk to people consistently? Right? These are success principles that I do believe that will almost never change. Are you posting? Do you have a presence online? Do people know you? Do they know you're a real estate agent? Are you emailing your database at least 3 times a week? Yes, I believe you should be emailing your database 3 times a week. And if you don't, you have a hobby, not a job. And then finally, are you talking to people? Man, getting into this as I'm talking about the forecast for AI, I was talking with somebody within our AI society. We have a group that meets 2 times a week. And they were asking me, like, look, I saw this marketer and he's doing really well. And he's saying, like, calling is dead. Like, you can't call your leads anymore. You need these AI tools, these systems, and these things to do it for you. And to me, the reality of that is, of course he's going to tell you that because he's trying to sell you something, right? Of course he's going to tell you that calling is dead. Of course he's going to tell you that expired leads don't work anymore. And we just heard right here on this call, what was it, like a $1 million lead that's coming from an expired. So, like, it's understanding that if you thought there were shiny objects in 2025, they are only getting shinier in 2026. AI is the ultimate shiny object. But Nick, you're supposed to talk about AI and tell us to do all these things. I get that. But it's also understanding that there's also a flip side to a coin. I always believe in, like, the duality of things. They have to even out. If AI is so great, that also means there is a lot of negative that comes with it. There's a lot of BS that comes with it. I've already seen it just today on my timeline. 2 different people in the industry created this CRM and this tool that is going to change the industry. Nothing's going to be the same. Well, look, I can create an app overnight, slap an AI logo on it, and tell you it's going to change everything. Unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are doing, because anybody can go out there and create an AI tool, slap the AI on it, and tell you how much it's going to change. And then, the other part about that too is then they can use AI to create all this BS marketing over and over and over and over again. And then it feels like you are seeing it everywhere. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing this all the time, so it must be true. Put me in the chat if you guys are seeing that. Where it's like every day there's another AI tool and somebody's talking about it and it's changing everything. Their business is blowing up and it's doing all these things. And then you get this AI anxiety, like, oh my gosh, am I falling behind? Is this happening? What am I missing out on? And to me, it's especially when it's an agent who created, and nothing against agents who are maybe going out there and creating some of these things, but if it was working that well, wouldn't their business be blowing up so much too and doing all of these things so great? So as we're getting into we're getting this is an AI society that we are all living in. There's a culture being formed around it. And just understand that anybody can go out there and create a tool. Anybody can create an app. It does not mean that it works. It does not mean that it is good. It does not mean that it was properly vetted. And, here's a filter that I always run things through. Because, look, we run a platform company. I am constantly vetting out AI tools. I have an entire research and development team that is buying other people's courses, buying other people's tools, seeing what's out there and what's going on. Over 90% of them are just bad and don't work. MIT came out with a study. 95% of AI companies are failing hard right now. Why? Because they're not producing an ROI. That's the biggest thing, is they get all this money, they have all these claims, and they're not producing an ROI. And one of my big filters is when I look at something, I always ask myself, is this an individual person who has just created something that is now selling it? If so, there is no way they've had enough time, attention, and energy to, number one, keep up with AI, to build it out the right way. Right? Because, how many people here have a bunch of free time? Put yes if you have a bunch of free time, or no if you don't have a bunch of free time. Put that in the chat. Let's see. How many people here have a bunch of free time? Sean doesn't have a bunch of free time. Jeff doesn't. Nope. Brad doesn't. Melissa doesn't. Tim doesn't. Especially if you're running a real estate business. So let me ask you this. If you're a successful real estate agent, chances are you don't have a bunch of free time. So how would a successful real estate agent go out there and build this tool that's going to change the industry and then go on to keep it updated to make sure it's real estate compliant? And that's always a piece that a lot of companies don't talk about, is the compliance piece. Make sure it's compliant. Make sure it's updated. Make sure that the little things work every part of the way. But then guess what? Not only the tool has to work, then they have to market it. Then they have to sell it. Oh yeah, and you're a real estate agent. So as you guys are seeing these things, I am telling you right now, your ability to stay focused and intentional will be one of your strongest assets here in 2026. Your ability to stay focused and intentional on money-making activities and simply collaborate with AI will be your biggest asset, because this is the year of shiny objects. This is the year. And every year after this is going to just get shinier and shinier and shinier. But it's understanding that, look, not every AI tool is going to change the industry. Okay? Not every tool will. And also, a lot of these CRMs and a lot of these places, do you not think that they have entire development teams that are building these things out? I mean, you remember when it's like, if you don't have an AI chatbot, you're falling behind, and that's not going to do well. How many people here have an AI chatbot that is within your CRM now? Just curious. I'm sure most of us are at a lot of us are at EXP. So put yes in the chat if your CRM now has the capability to have an AI chatbot. All right. So let's put some perspective on this, right? Remember, what was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if you don't spend all the time to learn how to build an AI chatbot, build it into your CRM, do all these things, you're going to be left behind and you're going to be out of the industry. You guys remember that message? And it was going around. And now would you look at this? If you just had a little patience, it's in your CRM. You don't have to learn to build it. You don't have to learn all these different things. You don't have to learn a lot more of the compliance, because the real estate CRM took the time to learn it, build it, and get it completely done for you. And all you had to do was have a little patience, stay focused, and stay intentional. This is where your focus is one of the most important things. Not saying that you have to learn all of these things. I will say this right now, and it might be a little bit against some of the other messages out there. And I'm okay with that. You don't have to learn how to vibe code. I don't know. If you already were a coder and had experience in that, that's a whole different thing. I'm just curious. Has anybody here had a lot of experience in coding before AI? Put yes in the chat if you guys had. Maybe Tim might. There we go. Just put yes in the chat if you've had experience in that. All right. Andy has. Andy's like, I'm playing a different ballgame. Ryan, yep, Tim. Look, if you had experience in it before, that's different than just saying that AI is a magic wand that can now be this ultimate expert to do things for you. Because there is a language and there's things of how that works. So, what should we focus on here in 2026, especially when it comes to AI? For most real estate agents, here's what I want you guys to do. I want to do a quick exercise with everybody here on this call. I'm going to share with you guys a prompt. And we are going to go through this exercise. And I'm just curious if anybody here knows this stat. How many people here know this stat? What percentage of real estate transactions, and this is a rough number, I've done research and it's a ballpark. What percentage of real estate transactions across the board were done through Sphere, referrals, or past clients? What percentage of real estate transactions were done through Sphere, referrals, or past clients? Put your guesses here in the chat. Let's see what we got. 70%, 90%. All right, 80, 60, 80. I like Ryan, I'm going to just throw it up. All right, let's see what we got. 75. It's right in that ballpark of like 75 to 80-ish%. Yep, like 70, 75, 80. It's like right in that ballpark. I've done research and I've seen different stats, but it's all in that ballpark. 70 to 80%. Past clients, referrals, and sphere of influence, right? So, and I'm just curious, how many people here, if you look at your 2025, majority of your business came from one of those three sources? I'm just curious. Put yes in the chat if you guys fall in that ballpark. Yes, yes, yes. All right. All right. So I want to do this exercise with you guys because I believe what you focus on grows. And a lot of times, I don't know about you, we tend to always like something starts working. So then we say, all right, what else can I do? What other lead sources can I get? What are the other different ways I can do it? And my belief is, man, what if you just focused more on what's already working for you? So here we go. I'll put this prompt here in the chat. It's a simple prompt. Here it is. Act as a billionaire real estate consultant who has built multiple nine-figure real estate empires and coached thousands of top producing agents. My goal is to help real estate agents create a strategic plan to dramatically increase their closings in 2026 by doubling down on their most successful lead source. So the prompt, all you guys have to do is copy and paste this in your chat GPT. Copy this and paste it. And it will ask you, what is your number one lead source of most closed deals in 2025? So guys, just for yourself, go through this and it will ask you some questions. But what I want you guys to do is, this is just a simple way you can start utilizing this as a collaborator. I want to just show you guys how you can collaborate with this. So everybody here on this call, just copy and paste this prompt. Take your number one lead source, tell ChatGPT what it is, and watch it come up with a different type of game plan for you. Like, what would it look like if your number one lead source, you actually spent more time working, farming, and getting that lead source? So I want to put some time here on the clock as we go through this exercise. And when you guys are done, just put done in the chat. When you guys get your final result, you copy and pasted it, told you your lead source, and read through it. Just put done in the chat. Let's see. Somebody, while you guys are doing this, put someone's favorite artist in the chat. I'm going to create a custom song for us as we do this. First person to put their favorite artist is how we're going to create this song. Pink. Whoa. All right. Here we go. So while you guys are doing this, I'm actually going to play a little music for you. A little custom music.
New year, new focus, eyes on the prize. Freedom team rising, you can see it in our stride. We cut the noise out, kept what converts. Less busy work, more value, more results. We know the plays that already score, so we run them back smarter than before. Momentum building, pipeline stays full. 2020 steps, yeah, we're in full control. No guessing games, no waste of time. We double down where the numbers shine. Systems tight, vision clear. Best year yet is finally here. We're closing more deals in 2026. Focused, efficient, stacking those wins. Doubling 20 swipes, no burnout, just momentum and wins. Doubling down on what already works. AI plus humans, yeah, that's the perk. More time back, more impact made. Freedom team leveling up the game. Lock it in, this is our year. Best year yet, let's make it clear. Freedom team moving smart and free. Future filled with AI clarity. 2026, remember the name. We didn't work harder, we worked insane smart.
I'm gonna play one more song, and then we're gonna kind of go through some feedback here.
Yeah. New year, new focus.
I like this.
Freedom team rising, you can see it in our stride. We cut the noise out, kept what converts. Less busy work, more value, more results. We know the plays that already score, so we run them back smarter than before. Yeah, we'll make some building pipeline stays full. 2026, yeah, we're in full control. No guessing games, no wasted time. We double down where the numbers shine. Yeah, systems tight, vision clear. Best year yet is finally here. We're closing more deals in 2026. Focused, efficient, stacking those wins. Doubling down on what already works. Working with AI, putting humans first. More conversations, more freedom too. Smarter days, bigger moves. Side by side with AI, we say freedom team, best year yet. AI in our corner and never taking breaks. Handling the follow-up content and data plays. So we show up human, present and sharp, building real trust. That's the secret spark. We don't fear change, we lead the way. Early adopters winning every day. Time is the asset, we protect the most. Let's grind more life. Yeah, that's the boast. Right tools, right flow. Let the old distractions go. We move fast, but we move right. Clarity fueled by insight. More deals in 2026. Focused, efficient, stacking those wins. Doubling down on what already works. Working with AI, putting humans first. More conversations, more freedom too. Smarter days, bigger moves. Side by side with AI, we say freedom team, best year yet. Collaboration over complication. Simple systems, real innovation. We help more people, serve them better. Every quarter keeps getting better. This is growth with intention and heart. Tech and trust playing their part. We're closing more deals in 2026. No burnout, just momentum and wins. Doubling down on what already works. AI plus humans, yeah, that's the perk. More time back, more impact made. Freedom team, leveling up the game. Lock it in, this is our year. Best year yet, let's make it clear. Freedom team, moving smart and free. Future built with AI clarity. Can in 20 tweets, remember the name. We didn't work harder, we worked insane smart. Yeah.
I don't know who Yeba is, but I might need to find out. I like that style. Thank you, Ryan, for throwing that in there. Awesome. Let's kind of go through this. So let's see. I'm going to call on some people here. Andy, what's going on, Andy? I know you went through this exercise, got it done quick. Was there anything that stood out to you going through it?
Yeah, I put in numbers for my YouTube.
Yeah.
And basically it's telling me that I'm doing all the right things, that I should just double down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's and it did tell me one very interesting sentence. It said to include in every single video, which I'm already doing the majority of this, but it says in
Yeah.
every video, this is non-negotiable. You should say, if you're thinking about moving here in the next 6 to 12 months, grab the link. This is how all my clients start.
Yeah. I love it.
So yeah.
I know. I will say this. So we have a client too, named Phil Slezak. So Phil, actually, his entire YouTube channel is his HeyGen avatar. So his entire YouTube channel is his AI avatar. He has over 4,000 subscribers now and started last year. A small tweak that he started to do was giving his phone number. So he went from a link to a phone number. He has his links in the comments. So if people are in the, not comments, the description, but he puts his phone
Yeah.
number at the beginning and end of the video. And he said he's starting to get more phone calls from his YouTube because it's just right there. That was just, I don't know the semantics of it, but he's deep into that as well. He started doing that and he said, I'm getting more phone calls and leads by doing something like that.
Yep,
Just,
we include our phone number and tag it in the first comment. But the only
yeah.
reason I don't put it up on the video is in case the phone number ever changes, then
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
messes up the video.
Yeah.
So,
I could see that. I like it though. Let's see. Ted King, what's going on, Ted? Anything stand out to you going through this?
Oh, went through it, and yeah, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Well,
So
I think it's a
yeah,
good thing though, because
well, yeah. Yeah, kind of getting like, but at the same time though, it's like, where I was getting most of my leads in 2025 and all with referrals and all, I want to switch that over anyway too. Like I still, my goal is to eventually have a clear presence on social media and
yeah,
YouTube.
I like
So
it.
yeah, so I'm gonna change that anyway.
I like it. Let's see, Jennifer. What's up, Jennifer? Anything stand out to you going through this?
As a newer agent, I didn't have much to put into there,
Yeah.
so it's really tough for me to fill. So I
Yeah.
just kind of don't have a lot of sales, so just kind of working on what I've been getting called.
Yeah. All right. Well, I might have a
And
couple
mine's
things
been
for you here
expired
today.
listings.
I like it. I like it. Ryan, the realtor. What's going on, Ryan?
Not much. So I like she am not newer, but
Yeah.
I don't have super, volumes of transactions. So I punched in, where my stuff came from, and most of my closings this year came from my sphere, and it
Yeah.
basically told me I'm underworking my sphere, like I'm sitting on a gold mine that needs to be tapped into, and gave me a couple of nuances to go through too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I like it too. And I feel like that's one thing is having a systematic way to tap into your sphere more, right? Because a lot of times it's like the
Yeah,
sphere will come and like I'll get the deals. And a lot of times the majority of people get their most deals from it. But what if you did have like a simple touch point or a systematic way to make sure that you get more from that? What would that look
right.
like? Right?
Right. And so for me, I was one of the things I put in there when it was asking about how often I reach out. I put that I hesitate because I don't have enough value to add, or I didn't think I had enough value to add. And one of the things that stood out to me was it's not necessarily information that's a value add, but being in close proximity is also a value add.
I
So,
love that.
yeah.
And this is where like, look, this is where you can start collaborating with AI even more. And it's like, I'll just show you guys kind of like a thought process. Act as an expert SOI, sphere of influence agent. My goal is to have a non-invasive way to reach out to my sphere to stay top of mind and come up with a system and process for it. Ask me one question at a time till you have a full understanding to move. I'll
I'm
copy
going
and
to need
paste
you to
this.
copy and paste that
Yeah,
right into
the
the chat.
spelling is not the best, but this is where, look, guys, act as my goal is ask me one question at a time. And this is where I believe so many, like, there are so many things that are out there that we get inundated and we get AI anxiety of like, where do I go? What do I do? I don't know enough. I'm falling behind. If you guys just follow this prompt framework, act as my goal is ask me one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward. To me, it's just that simple. And it'll ask you one question at a time, and it will get you like it will get more information about you, your business, who your sphere is, to come up with a more customized game plan. But this is where it's like, all right, now you want to reach out to more people. Let's come up with like a way to do that. Let me collaborate with AI, act as an expert in this. My goal is to come up with this. Ask me one question at a time. And now you're collaborating with AI. Look, if you can like significantly diminish the amount of time it takes you from thought to action, that's where I believe AI is such a big win. Like that's where the biggest wins that I'm seeing from agents, they're producing agents. Because it's just, here's the idea, here's what I want to do. How do I get to this point of taking action sooner? Collaborate with AI, get your exact process, and boom, go out there and take action. Does anybody else have something to share before I kind of move on to my next point, going through this exercise?
It's getting me thinking, Nick and Ryan. I don't know if you can turn your camera back on, not a big deal, but because I do think you've had some great trainings along the way, Nick, in terms of in terms of things that we can share with our database that just is, it's not all necessarily real estate, but I think real estate is such a hot topic right now. It has been for the last several months. It's going to be the first few months of this year. I just think, I don't know. I mean, whatever, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the world, but I know that's one of the things right now, like Trump is talking big time, like all these real estate things that they're working on. They want to get real estate going again. It's such a big part of our economy. And I just think, everybody's talking about it. And there's just so many things that you can get out to your database, out to your sphere that, is information. And you can use ChatGPT to help you come up with that, which it can give you the video script. It can give you a blog. It can give you, you could easily reach out 3 times a week to your database with different kinds of content that I think would be very helpful for them, that they would want to know what's going on, whether they're thinking of selling or not, but it just keeps your name in front of them.
Yeah.
And then the things that you've done along the way too, like here's the things going on in town this weekend for families, and just, there's all these prompts that you can do. That's just value add information that you're able to send out, post on social media, different things that just keeps you out there in front of people. They think about you when they think about real estate. Yeah. That 50 ideas that's one.
50 real estate content ideas. Top 5 reasons why city is a hot market for buyers. Should you rent or buy in city? Pros and cons. You can literally copy this, go to ChatGPT and just say Orlando.
Hey, Nick, while you're doing that, I was going to talk about what Jeff was just talking about. Just to give you a good example, I saw an article the other day about where the feds were planning to buy back $45 billion a month in debt and put back into the banking system. I didn't understand the article. So I was like, what's really going on here? So I put all that into ChatGPT, told it to write me. Not only did it write me a YouTube script, I sat here, a 17-minute long video. It gave me all the B-roll suggestions. I went into CapCut, made the B-roll, got it to give me the prompts, put it all together, 17-minute video. That video is blowing up. I've gotten 2 phone calls off of that video. So, and it was just an article that I saw.
Well, and let me ask you this, Andy. Did you just take the script and just read it verbatim, or did you adapt it a little bit? Did you use your expertise to say, all right, I know real estate, so I'm going to make sure that my voice is heard in this as well?
Oh, yeah. Well, I put it into ChatGPT, which I've trained. It knows who I am. So I put it in there and said, make this, rewrite this, make it sound like me, put it in there so I can, and boom, it did the whole thing for me.
Your ability to simply collaborate with this technology, like Andy just showed you, a great way of collaborating with it. I know this article is important and it's a hot topic. How do I take this hot news topic, apply it to real estate, and create content? Before, here's what Andy would have to do. He would have to sit there and think about it, which would take time, right? He would then have to maybe do some more research and then go to different articles, go to different pages to maybe get his right insight on it. Then Andy would have to sit down and be like, all right, now I have to write a 17-minute video script, right? And then come up with the different ideas from there. This is where Andy's like, all right, here's the hot topic. I'll go to AI to say, here is my thinking on it. Create me a video script around how this is going to impact the real estate industry. And then it created it for him, gave him the B-roll, and now he has the video and ready to post. That to me is a perfect example of how Andy is spending less time behind a computer and more time talking to people. Why? Idea to action shrunk. You guys, thank you for sharing that, Andy, because to me, that's a perfect example of collaborating with this and not trying to just build something out that doesn't exist, right? Like I always say, it's don't go looking for problems to solve with AI. Identify what you're already doing that's working, and how can you collaborate with AI to shrink the amount of time it takes to do it. Does that part make sense to you guys? Because a lot of times you'll marketers are great. They will try to convince you you have a problem that you don't, and then sell you the solution. No, look at what you're already doing that's working. And then how can I use AI to collaborate to get it done quicker, more efficiently? And you will smoke the competition that is trying to just AI all over their business and everything else. Because if I don't use AI, I'm going to be left behind. Look, I'm not here to, I hope you guys don't leave here saying I don't need to use AI. Nick said not to use AI. I hope you guys don't leave here thinking that. But I will say this. For the last 3 years, what have people said? If you don't use AI in these ways by the end of the year, you're going to be out of business. Is everybody here still in business? Right? So it's not like if you don't do this, you're never going to be in business. That's just not true. Do you have to learn how to collaborate with it? Absolutely. Is it being built into majority of the tools that you're already using? Yes. So it's understanding that we're all walking this razor's edge. And here's what I mean by that. If you lean too far into AI and try to learn all of it and do so much with it, you're not going to be a real estate agent. You're going to try to become an AI guru and then go too deep into that war. So you'll get cut walking that way. If you completely ignore it, yes, that's not an option either. So you're walking this razor's edge of simply collaborating with it, staying focused, using it enough to make yourself more efficient, but not too much to where you stop being a real estate agent. And Andy, thank you for sharing that, like a real life example of idea to action shrunk. And then what was he able to do? Actually probably work his database, talk to people, go out there, sell homes, help people buy, answer the phone. More time to do those things, right? Go ahead, Jeff.
Andy, can you share that link to that video? Could you put it in here so we could check it out? Just as an example of what, again, here's a way to use it. Here's the final result of what you did. Again, which you said is blowing up and stuff. And again, think about what you could do with that, guys. I mean, like right now, there's all this talk about, 50-year mortgages and what would that look like? And there's talk about that. I don't know whether that'll come to pass or not, but there's talk out there. There's talk about there's portability of mortgages. It happens in Canada and the UK. They're talking about that here. You close on your house here, you take your current mortgage here, and it goes with you to the next house. And I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but these are things that are out there and headlines that are hitting everything from CNBC to all these different things because the housing market, there's so much talk. The built up demand right now is bigger than it's been in decades in terms of we've had 3 years of record low home sales. People are still looking to move. Confidence is coming back. You just need to be the guy or the gal that they think about, when they hear real estate. If they're thinking about it or they hear a coworker who's thinking about it, your name needs to come to their mind. Oh, you need to call Ryan. Yes. You need to call Andy. You need to call Paula. Paula's been posting I've been learning so much stuff here lately. Paula's been sending me stuff. Whatever. Like your name is the one that comes up. So they hear a coworker in the cubicle next to them is talking about how I think we're ready to finally make our move. You got to call my friend Paula. Oh my gosh, you should. Here, let me give you her YouTube channel. Let me send you this email that she sent to me. Like you become that person, and this is what it can help you do. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick.
No, Jeff, that was beautifully said, because one thing that been saying in marketing and branding is once you own the mind share, then you own the market share. Exactly. When people think of you first, that's what winning looks like. Because if somebody asks you, hey, do you know a real estate agent? They're not going to think, who are the top 5 agents that I think of? Right? Because prior to contrary belief, people aren't sitting around all day thinking of real estate agents. Right? Like there's so much crap that's on social media and so many things that control what they think about. If they think real estate agent, they think one name, maybe, right? Will you be that one name? And I'm here to tell you, if you aren't emailing your database at least 3 times a week, if you're not posting consistently on social media, I don't care how good of a service you did 10 years ago for someone. They're not going to recommend you, right? When I say emailing your database 3 times a week, one way you can do that, this is a very simple way that anybody here can do in seconds. It's just 50 different community content ideas. Top 3 restaurants in city for date night. All right, come in here. Orlando, Florida. And top 3 restaurants in Orlando, Florida for date night. So ChatGPT will do the research. Here you go. Great. Now act as an expert copywriter and write me an email to send to my database. And now everybody in your database gets top 3 best restaurants for date night. All right. And then you have 50 different ideas here. And guess what, guys? If you guys need more ideas, where do you think you can go to collaborate and get more community content ideas? Look, I didn't create these, be honest.
ChatGPT, maybe?
ChatGPT, maybe. Right? Best rooftop or patio dining in city. And then if you want to go a step further, great. Now act as an AEO, GEO, SEO specialist for YouTube and help me draft a video script. If you guys wanted to do community content for YouTube, AEO, GEO, SEO friendly. And now you have community content ideas. Like, look, to me, it's not rocket science when it comes to AI. Beyond what we're seeing out there, you have to learn a vibe code, create this, do that. It's like, what are just simple ways that I can collaborate with this, spend less time behind a computer and more time communicating with clients? That is my number one belief when it comes to AI. Less time behind a computer, more time talking to people. Yep.
Ryan, is that helpful, Ryan? Like, I mean, we're kind of using you as the example. I mean, you started this whole thing. But no, is that helpful, though? Taking that initial prompt that he gave us to work through, whatever. You want to go after your sphere more. You're sitting on a gold mine. Here's like all this conversation. I think it's just, which we could all use. But again, all of us to be able to collaborate with ChatGPT for whatever it gave you in that prompt. Is this helpful for you, Ryan?
Listen, every time I'm on a Freedom Team call, it's always monumental for my business. But this specifically has like completely opened up my eyes, and I'm really practicing restraint to not leave and get right on my computer because I need this information. You know what I mean? Like it's making me want to just jump right into action because it's right in front of you. And I use chat all the time, and I have not paid for it yet. And I'm in the point where I'm like, okay, should I? Because I use it and I get to the limit. I'm like, oh, but I got other stuff to do today. And then I'm like, well, should I not? It's free. But if I can go more, like go further with it, I probably will pay for it.
It's cheap. It's one of the best things you can do, I think, in terms of just, going into this year. I would recommend that you get the paid version. What is it, 20 something a month? Or forget something like
that's what you just say, like 22 a month.
$59 for a year, Melissa says. So, there you go.
Yeah, that's really reasonable. I haven't even looked into pricing yet, but this is all good stuff.
Cool. Your ability to stay focused this year. Send out 3 emails a week. Everybody,
Nick, what would you say to the person? Because I know there's people on here right now, 3 emails a week. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have unsubscribes. They're going to be leaving. I mean, what would you say to that?
What I would say is there are 3 options for people in your database. One, they have no idea who you even are. And I would say majority of people fall into that bucket because we're too afraid to email them more than once a week or once a month. 2, they unsubscribe. Oh no, they unsubscribe. Well, they probably didn't even know they were in your email database. Good riddance, right? Or 3, you become the only option for them and they love your emails because you're sending community content, real estate updates, market updates, just listed, sold. They know what's happening in the area and you become the only option for them. Let me ask you guys this. How many times does Amazon email you a day? Nike, if you guys are in their campaigns, or like whatever these large companies.
500, like 300 times a day.
What makes you different? You are a business, correct? You are a business with information. It's your identity that has to shift because the moment you start saying, I'm a business, to stay in business, people need to know who I am. And I am sending out valuable information. You're not just saying ready to buy or sell. No. Top 3 areas for date night tonight. Heck, I might want to know that. Top 3 places you can take your dog to go get a drink. Like now you're sending community content. You're sending market updates. You're letting people know about real estate. You see a news story like Andy just had, and you draft an email and send it out to your database, right? Like stopping after you get an unsubscribe is like stopping after the first person tells you no over the phone and say, oh my gosh, I'm doing something wrong. Trust me, I got effed off the phone plenty of times when I was dialing 15 hours a day. Didn't make me stop. So
I was on training a couple of weeks ago with John Cheplak. And he's telling me like he posts 7 times a day.
Yep.
7 times a day.
Yes.
On social media, and he's emailing, multiple times a day. I get a couple emails a day from John Cheplak. I'm in his system, whatever. And again, he's like, do I get unsubscribes every day? Whatever. But I'm adding new people to my database every day. I got more people coming in than going out. I mean, again, and if you're marketing and you're doing things, whether it's different lead sources, funnels, out there talking to people, again, just we've had trainings on that. Go back through our training archive, our YouTube channel, whatever. You'll find trainings on how to grow your database on a daily basis, and that's what you want. You're adding people in there all the time. And so, you just become that expert to them. They cannot help but think about you when they think about real estate. And a lot of people are going to be thinking about real estate this year. They're thinking about it right now.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought up Shiplak because that was another thing that, we really got from him. Because Jeff, how many times do I email you a day?
Oh yeah, I know. I get them all the time.
Yeah, you get them all the time, right? But look, email is, let's play a game. How many people here pay per email in their CRM? Put yes if you pay per email or no if you do not. So if you can email your entire database through your CRM. So what this is telling me clearly is that email is the biggest ROI in your business. Because if you're already not paying for it, one email that you guys get that converts something, all of a sudden it becomes the biggest ROI in your business. And if you could do it consistently and you stay in front of your database, they gave you their email. They're asking for it, guys. So, as they're coming into this year, what I would just say is what you should expect, shinier objects than ever. If there is something so monumental that changes, we're all going to know about it. It's not going to be a hidden thing that one person created that is unproven that is going to change the industry. If something so monumental that every agent should be using it comes about, you're going to know about it because I'm going to tell you about it too. I'll be honest saying this is the tool, and there are some pretty freaking cool tools, and it depends on database sizes, that use big data to then augment your entire database and understand their buyer behaviors using AI. So there are some pretty cool and exciting tools that we're vetting out that we're working with right now. But just understand that AI anxiety is real. Stress is real. If you feel like you're behind and feel like you're not doing enough and feeling like you're overwhelmed, last time I checked, those aren't emotions that drive success. Your ability to stay focused, stay consistent, use it to collaborate, and you will smoke the competition that is buying a new tool every month and going with a new strategy every single month. And again, last time I checked, changing strategies, tools every month, that doesn't drive success either. So you can take every one of your listings and make that listing music video. Well, at least create the music for it.
You're right.
So all you have to do, let's just say listing description, keep it simple, write me a song. So here's what you do. Sorry, I'm going a little fast. So first you get the listing description or everything that you want to say about the home.
Mm-hmm.
And you just tell chat, write me a song in the style of Frank Sinatra. And then you copy and paste listing description or whatever else you want to add here, Brett.
Mm-hmm.
And chat will write you a song. So Suno does not allow you to copy the voice directly. I will say that. So you won't get exactly Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
But so now ChatGPT, you just created your song, right? Outro. Then I always ask chat, give me 3 genres for Frank Sinatra. So now I get my genres just to make sure I get that right. So here's all you have to do. Copy the song and you go to suno.com, suno.com. So you might be on the homepage here, but then you go to create, copy and paste the lyrics in style. I get this traditional pop. Okay, that's not what I would have went with, but we'll go with it. Traditional pop.
You can do 5 songs a day for free.
Yeah, 5 songs a day for free. Big band. So I got my genres. So now I have the song, I got my style, and I just click create.
Well, I found a place standing tall in the sun. Concrete dreams, but the story's not done. Open halls humming with plans untold. Just waiting on a heart, waiting on a soul. 4 bedrooms whisper what they could be.
That's good. I like
this. Yeah.
Half-past 8, can't believe there's a room for the laughs, a room for the work, a place for the movies, let the real world lurk. There's an office for thinking, a table for wine.
I like it. But
awesome.
That's how you can do it there.
Cool.
You know, and like a lot of the agents we work with for all their listings, they create a song, like different songs for their listings. They have the video already, add the music to it. But then they also, going out to the listing appointment, sometimes they ask them like, hey, what's your favorite artist? Just out of curiosity. And then they create a song for them and go to the listing appointment. And they say something like, hey, I know ways of marketing that traditional agents don't even know exists. Hey, I just created a song for your listing. And they play it. They're like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? And all of a sudden they're so in shock and awe of what you're able to do. So you can create it before a listing appointment. Another big way is, look, the buying process is very emotion driven. Would you guys all agree with that? Like, it's a very emotional decision. So it's like, what are you currently looking for in a home, right? You want your kids in a big backyard. You want near this district or like whatever. Creating a song about what they are looking for to get them to start envisioning the home that they are going to be in starts tying that emotional connection to you. And like one of those songs, for example, got over 2,200 plays. What does that mean? They send it to their friends, they send it to their family, they send it to their loved ones, and they send it to people like, hey, check this out. They created a song about the home I'm buying. So it's like, yeah, thanks for bringing that up. That's something very simple, but can go a long way in just distinguishing yourself.
Take that and put it with some pictures, you know, from the home. Put, you know, maybe you got some video that you had shot, you know, whatever, a video tour or some drone shots if you hired a photographer. There's so many ways you could take that, work that, put that song behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like that idea, Jeff, because I was just thinking about new construction videos I'm doing for particular home building companies, and I could do a little song about DR Horton right before I break into my walkthrough video. That's an excellent idea.
Totally. So, Ryan, go ahead. Do you have a last question here?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Andy when he was talking about I think of his name, Andy, when he was talking about the B-roll that ChatGPT suggested, did they provide it or did it just suggest prompts to do the B-roll?
I got the prompts and then put them into CapCut and made CapCut has an AI tool now with their paid version. And so, you know, since I manage about 5 different YouTube channels, and so I do a lot with this. That's why I have the paid version of ChatGPT, the paid version of Suno. I get Suno to do all the music for every video, everything we do, so that I don't have copyright issues.
That's good to know. I appreciate that.
So Andy, CapCut will do B-roll. It'll make the B-roll for it.
Yeah. You just get the prompt from ChatGPT, tell it what you're trying to do. Say, I need B-roll that shows this, you know, whatever. Just you could say, have a real estate agent and a buyer sitting at a table shaking hands over a contract, and boom, put it into Canva into CapCut, and it will create the B-roll for you.
You could have a whole video done that looks so great within the how long does it take you to do stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's quick.
Yeah, that video I put in the chat, Jeff, all the B-roll came from AI generated in CapCut, every bit of it.
Like you said, like walking around knowing I need to do things. And that's where it's like, all right, things that are on my mind, how do I then just collaborate with AI to get them out of my mind, to give me an exact action plan customized to myself to get me to action mode? You know, when I talk about time being my most valuable asset, I also look at it, you know, a lot of times I think, what am I spending my time on? I also look at it as, how much time do I spend feeling overwhelmed? How much time do I spend feeling stressed? How much time am I in anxiety? How can AI help me spend less of my time in that mode and more time feeling fulfilled, more time feel excited, more time feeling happy, right? Like, so I think that's a great point, Mike, is like, all right, spending time on these things. Oh, I can collaborate with AI on exactly what I'm thinking about to come with a custom game plan. And now it's like, I can breathe again. I can sleep better, right? Look, I believe a lot of problems in life can be solved by getting more sleep, right? Like, so I feel like there are so many benefits when you use this as a collaborator on your thought pattern to get you into decision mode faster. So I spend less time behind my computer and more time talking to people.
Out here on the grind, chasing dreams in the sun, from the Gulf to the hills. Yeah, we're